Okay, so far here's what we've got. Give me your attention here. Let's see if I can make it go. So we've got a porch that can extend it out. We're way back to the vanishing point. I showed you how to do these shingle thing. We'll have some, if you have some time, you're like lost on what to do, you've done everything else. Those are some options. I'm going to draw for a minute. Okay? If you're a long ways away and you have a hard time seeing, you may want to come closer to where you can see what I'm drawing. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw, and then I'm going to have you draw. Okay? Got it? And then I'll stop and we'll do some things. First thing is a mailbox. Mailbox, use a one-point perspective, would be like saying, wow, I've got a pole here. Horizontal, horizontal, right? And in all honesty, there would be a little line here going on the side here, and there'd be a little line right here that's going to the side, and we would come straight down. And that's how you get a that. And on the top, so there's a side there on the top. Over here, we would have a rectangle on the top because mailboxes kind of have a rectangle feel to them. All right. From what you know how to do a cube, you go back to the vanishing point, go back to the vanishing point, go back to the vanishing point from those three sides that are closest. All right. Decide how much you want to see inside your box. That tells you how much light there'd be. Make sense? I'm working. Go.
Okay.
What? What? Quick.
I was wondering if I could put my teacup along in these blankets.
Yeah, you set them out where we can get to them, and I can do it. All right. Next. Next. Let's say that I have a doghouse. Okay, doghouse. Happy dog. Doghouses aren't huge. Right? If you remember, when you drew your very first cube, you drew the square first, what was pointing towards you. You have to think. You draw what's pointing towards you. Then you go back from the closest edges to the vanishing point, to the vanishing point, to the vanishing point. You visualize, well, I think the end of my building would be there. Since this extended past, I would have that extend past too. This one, if it's angling this way, this would be the same way. Okay? Well, okay, makes sense? And it would sit on your thing. All right? If you had a fence, you draw where that fence post was going to be. And every one of these fence posts would be the same height. There'd be one here, there'd be one here. You could draw a guideline on how tall it was with the orange. Where's my orange? Woo. My guideline color.
It's in your left hand.
Oh, that's a good place for it. All right. So I could draw how tall this would be, right? That's my guideline really lightly in pencil. I hope you see that I really messed up, that I made that. Because I get to, you notice how I made that falling over? I didn't get it vertical. I didn't notice it because it's so hard to do this when you're working on a slanted piece of paper and you're not in front of it. That's supposed to be straight up and down, right? And then I know there'd be one over here that'd be straight up and down. And I know there'd be one over here, equal distance straight up and down. Maybe one more right there. You could say that, wow, if this is barbed wire, you could say, wow, there's barbed wire. There's barbed wire. wire's kind of loose. All right? Cool? It would go back to the vanishing point using a guideline. I'd have another vanishing point right here using guideline. Here's where everybody messes up. Would they be the same distance apart, this far apart, one there? No, right? Because they're getting closer together. The farther they are away, the closer they'll appear together, right? Because distance gets less. And here's where people will mess up, and I'll tell you this happens every time, is they start off like I messed up being crooked, but the next one will be tipping more. The next thing you know, your fence will be running this way. I've done it a zillion times. You have to remember that vertical is vertical. And this one here is vertical. And this one here is vertical. And if you want to put a gate right there, you could. Vertical, vertical, vertical. Once I get back as far as it's going to be, saying that's how tall it's going to be, I can put a guideline of how tall this last one is. And how tall this one is. And then as I go off in the distance, I know that all these are going to be this tall. Make sense? Make sense? Cool beans? All right. What else do I want to show you? That I'll give you. I'm going to have you work for about 10 minutes, and I'll show you something else. Ready? Go.